Located in the very heart of Alsace region, next to the German border, Colmar is an incredibly charming French town. Often called the wine capital of Alsace, Colmar is famous for its wine, food, and the enchanting old city that looks as if it's been taken straight out of the fairy tale. It's these beautiful medieval streets that have sparked my interest. So one sunny summer afternoon, I headed to Colmar with my camera to spend the weekend there and see what images I can come up with. So, I've just arrived to Colmar, and right now I'm heading towards the little Venice district. It's that central part where you see all those beautiful picturesque houses, canals, all the colorful buildings, and it's just that part where you get this kind of idyllic medieval vibe that Colmar is best known for. That's the most popular part of town for tourists, but it's also kind of the best part for photographers as well. I think I'm a little late for sunset, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that won't be much of an issue because the sky is kind of clear today. There's not a cloud, so I'm actually hoping that blue hour in these conditions will look better. I've got a couple of places in mind on one of the bridges. I did visit them last time in winter, but I really wanted to return in summer because it's summer when you get all those beautiful flowers and all the trees are green and there's just much more color in the scene. So I'm gonna check them out and let's see what I can come up with. The first place that I had in mind was a small boat station next to one of the bridges in the center. I first noticed it back in February, but couldn't photograph it back then. The boats operate till 6:30 p.m, which is well past the daylight in winter. So the station was still full of tourists at sunset. In summer though, the days are much longer and the station was long closed and empty by the time I arrived, just as I wanted. But still, the shoot didn't exactly go as planned. So my original idea was to photograph those boats that you can kind of see there behind me from the lower angle so that they serve as a leading line towards the bridge and the building above it. Unfortunately, there's this green light below the bridge that casts this ugly greenish cast to the entire scene, which I really don't like. So I tried to do something different instead. I actually tried to kind of use the flowers you can see there on the pier as a foreground element that also obscures the light, and then kind of frame the building above it with those flowers. I had to focus like it obviously because the flowers are very close to the camera. So I made two shots and I think it's gonna be a nice image. Amazing how quickly the light went. It seems like it was blue hour just a few moments ago, but now it's pitch black. Anyway, here's the classical view of Colmar. That's what you get on so many images: the buildings, the restaurant, the hotel, the canal. Obviously you kind of need a tripod for the long exposure, but other than that there's not much science to this shot. The only problem I had is with those swans that are swimming in the canal, because they kind of disrupt the water and create like those white traces in the photo. It makes long exposures pretty difficult. I just took a few images and I'm gonna blend them together, just taking parts of the water that I like. And hopefully I'll get rid of all the swans and all the traces I'll leave behind. It's so quiet, hardly any person around. It's 6:30 in the morning and I'm at another Colmar bridge, maybe just 100 meters away from the one I was before. And here you get another one of those pictures, beautiful views. You're basically looking at the other side of the canal, same canal as I was shooting yesterday from the other direction. And the sun is just beautiful. You get pre-dawn glow on the houses in the distance, and you have the still water kind of leading the eye into the frame. It's just so idyllic. I'm actually shooting a couple of different compositions. One just straight up into the canal with the buildings framing the image. And then I took a wider shot where I tried to use the flowers over here as sort of a foreground interest in the image. We'll see which one I like better, but I think one of them is going to be pretty nice. Anyway, I'm going to pack up here and I'm going to head to another bridge in that direction and see if we can get some early morning sunlight on the buildings. So as you can see, the sky is really becoming kind of bright and distracting, but I think I found one last composition that I really enjoy here on this bridge. What I got here are those houses, and obviously this main subject, this house and its reflection in the water over here. And so I'm trying to do is kind of frame this image using those flowers at the bottom of the frame, which kind of help create depth in the picture, but also help to lead the eye towards the subject of the photo. I think it's a really nice picture. It kind of represents how Colmar feels. Ideally calm, just very, very peaceful.
During the day, Colmar is a bustling tourist destination and there's plenty of ways to entertain yourself. Take a boat tour of the canals, have a meal in one of the numerous restaurants, or simply take a stroll through the narrow alleys and enjoy the local vibe. You can even head outside the city to explore the countless picturesque little villages around, or sample some of the wine that the region is so famous for in a local winery of your choice. The options are endless. My own plan was to scout and shoot some of the locations around town, but I'll be honest, with the 34 degrees heat outside and not a single cloud in the sky, it turned out really hard to get the creative juices flowing. I did take a few images, but nothing worth sharing. By late afternoon, it seemed as if some clouds could roll in for sunset, so I decided to return to the yesterday's location, hoping for some more dramatic photos. The clouds never really came, but I still managed to get the boat shot that I wanted, along with a couple others that I personally quite like. The weather forecast looked good for my last morning in Colmar, and I was up early again ready to chase the sunrise. This time I decided to try something different and headed to Kaiserberg, a small village just 20-minute drive northwest from Colmar, where I have found a location that I thought would be perfect for sunrise.
Right now the sky is actually highlighting right in this bit, which is exactly what I need. My composition is just the houses on both sides of the stream, with a stream kind of leading the eye into the frame, and that highlight in the sky just adds that little interest that kind of completes the photo. So I'm using a polarizer because I want to bring all the detail from that sky. So it's polarized right now, but if I turn it off, you can see how blown out and blank it becomes. Turn it back on and really accentuates all the streaks of clouds. light is completely gone by now. There are still a few clouds in the sky, but that pinkish glow that really made the photo pop only lasted for maybe a couple minutes most. I really had time to capture a few photos, walk you through the composition, then it was just gone like that. Which really shows you the importance of being at location early, because sometimes you only have seconds to capture a photo. That's not the time to be setting up the tripod or your camera or figuring out your filters or your composition. That's time to shoot. So you really have to arrive early to have time to do all those other things and then just wait for the light to happen, because this time it happened not even at sunrise, it was still 5 minutes before sunrise. So if you would have arrived in time for sunrise, you would completely missed the best light. Anyway, that's it for this video. This also concludes the mini-series I've been doing on France. I'm obviously planning to be back here at some point in the future, but for now this is it. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you enjoyed the series. If you did, put the like down below, subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. In just a couple of weeks time I'm heading to Tenerife and Canary Islands, so there's going to be a bit of seascapes, a bit of hikes and all that kind of stuff. So tune in for that, and I'll see you then.